more destructive than I'd hoped.
Even the most voracious species eats only the weed spikes, not the entire plant.
Penelope Chandler's confirmed as either working for K.A.R.T.E.L directly or receiving K.A.R.T.E.L financing.
Help you sound.
You don't mean that.
It's a double locus. How do we get it off of you?
Why is he flying so low?
I think he's going to dust us. In the middle of the Amazon. Are you sure Jacobson's message came from here?
I'm sure, Thomas.
Well, I'm going to tell myself it's so quiet because all the birds here sleep all day long. How's that sound? Yeah. Well, I'll go wait till it.
No. Take them alive.
Jake.
Not without wheels, they won't. Find anything? Jake's body? This. What is it? I'm not sure. After the way Jake looked, I'm not sure I want to know. Hang on!
more destructive than I'd hoped. It is a beautiful sight, isn't it, Roger?
Most beautiful, Miss Chapman.
You think K.A.R.T.E.L will be sufficiently impressed?
Certainly they will. How could they not be impressed?
Dear Roger, how cute. Your opinions are always so like mine. They seem to be finished. Call them back, Roger. Lunchtime.
Commissar Sloane.
Thomas, glad you're back. Pity about Jacobson. Good man.
One of the best. What about that insect I found near the body?
Well, this isn't the one you found.
Well, it sure is, unless you had another unit agent poking around the Amazon looking for these.
Come into the office. Thomas, I did have another unit agent poking around, yes. In what was once a wheat field. Less than 100 miles from here.
From here? And this field was stripped clean, too, like the one in Brazil?
Only this time a farmer saw what happened. He said a whole swarm just appeared out of nowhere.
Effie, are you up on this?
Thomas, you should know better than that. One of the advantages of being an EFI Series 3000 multifunction computer is to always be up on everything.
Slip my mind, F. What have our lab people come up with on this little beast?
It's a hybrid locust, as yet unclassified.
What about using insecticides?
Unfortunately, these hybrids are impervious to all known pesticides.
Who's the top authority on locusts?
Until recently, it was a certain Dr. Martin D. Rand. Unfortunately, he just went and got himself killed in a plane crash about 3 months ago.
Who's number one now?
Dr. Rand's former assistant, Dr. Chris Bishop. Also a professor at Whitley University.
Thanks, F.
May I see that?
Not exactly the latest thing, but... Well, what do you think?
Well, I think it's a nice watch, but I'm afraid to ask what it does.
It's a recorder. Kelly Millard.
See these little perforations? That's a speaker for playback.
That's a nice watch. I'm afraid to ask what it does. Kelly, you're terrific.
Be careful with the volume. It has quite a range.
The test would go well. First in South America, now here. Each of my swarms more successful than the last, more savage, more insatiable.
And And if we hadn't arranged to have the world believe you died in that plane crash, you'd have a lynch mob after you pretty soon.
Might be worth it. Maybe then people would finally realize whose vision was clear. Mustn't tamper with nature against the natural order of things. Mustn't be a genius is what they meant.
A rich genius.
True. $10 million should salve the wounds.
Careful there. One of those devil locusts gets out, you'll be dead in a matter of seconds.
Roger, why don't we let Dr. Rand get back to work? He has a lot to do in the next 48 hours.
Miss Chandler. The gentleman said if he didn't give his name, you'd know who it was.
Oh, him. That will be all, Morton. Yes.
Good day, Miss Chandler. I do hope you are well. I thought it prudent to remind you that our K.A.R.T.E.L crops in Africa and South America are ready to be harvested. And with that in mind, I'm sure you'll understand that if your attack is delayed beyond 48 hours, K.A.R.T.E.L stands to lose billions rather than earn them.
I assure you.
No need. No need. Just wanted to say hello.
Help yourself.
You don't mean that.
It's all organic.
Would you remind me later that I'm looking for a Dr. Bishop?
That's Dr. Bishop over there.
He has a beard.
No, she hasn't.
I was hoping you'd say that. Excuse me. Dr. Bishop, I'm Thomas Sloane with Earth Digest.
Oh, yes, Mr. Sloane. What can I do for you?
Well, I think I'm onto a big story, and I need an expert opinion.
Oh, I suppose it's about that locust attack on that farm. It's all my students have been talking about. But how did I get elected?
Because you were trained by Dr. Martin Rand, and everyone agrees you know your business.
It's terrible his dying like that. I felt so close to him. He helped me so much.
When you were working with him, did you do any experimenting with hybrid locusts?
Of course. Dr. Rand was far ahead of everyone else in that field. Some of his colleagues think too far ahead. They called him the Dr. Frankenstein of entomology.
Well, I can see that I've come to the right place. It sure would help if I had an expert look at that field with me.
You mean now?
Sure. Why not?
It's Ingrid.
I was afraid of that. Now do you see why I placed you there to keep an eye on her? Oh, no, Ingrid, I'll handle it. I'm quite familiar with pest control.
Just as advertised, they ate the whole thing.
It's incredible. Even the most voracious species eats only the wheat spikes, not the entire plant.
You think Dr. Rand's hybrids are capable of this?
Maybe. If he had lived long enough to complete his experiments. He had this dream of creating a swarm of super locusts and turning them loose to clear the world's jungles for farming.
Well, it seems to me that someone picked up where he left off and added a new twist.
Are you saying this was done on purpose? No scientist would do such a thing.
I wonder what they said about Dr. Frankenstein. Going to dust us. Not with anything that comes from Paris.
Chlorotoxin, the deadly chemical used for pesticides, attacks the respiratory system.
I think it's time to improvise.
minds.
I agree.
But P-51? Love that plane. It helped win the big war, Miss Honeywell.
Oh, you're a fighter, Mr. Sloane.
No, I'm just a collector that enjoys a Sunday spin every now and then. I understand that you have a bright red Stearman.
Well, I did have one, but I sold it a couple of months ago to a lady.
Oh, that's too bad. Maybe you could put me in touch with her. I'm sure I could make an interesting offer.
I'm sure you could. However, I never divulge the names of my customers.
Well, there must be some exceptions. The proper inducements.
Perhaps there is one irresistible temptation. And possibly even two.
Miss Chandler home? I thought I'd drop in and say hello. My name is Sloane, Thomas R. Sloane.
This is private property, friend.
Certainly is. Certainly is.
Appetizing.
You, of course, would be Penelope Chandler.
And you, of course, are unexpected, to say the least, Mr. Sloane.
Thomas R.
Yes, but not without a certain flair, I must admit. Most people try the front door.
Somehow electrified fences always seem to turn me off.
Well, one always has to discourage the riffraff. Now, what may either of us possibly do for the other, I wonder?
I collect antique airplanes. And you happen to have a Stearman crop duster that I'd definitely say is in top flight condition.
Yes, the red one. But tell me, why ever would you want to buy a crop duster?
Why ever would you?
Oh, I suppose we all have our little idiosyncrasies.
And some big ones, too. I heard that you recently were looking to buy some cargo planes?
Well, now, how did all that silliness get started? I hate to disappoint you about the crop duster, but my business advisor bought, profited, and I assume disposed of it all on his own. Sorry.
Don't be. I'll at least have the pleasure of enjoying your hospitality for a while.
What a genuinely interesting man you are, Mr. Sloane. Oh, and if you do feel sufficiently persuaded to stay...
Swarm of locusts couldn't keep me away. I'd just like to wash up first.
Roger. Would you please escort our guest?
Ladybug, here is the perfection I promised. The devil locust. Its instinct is to devour. Its bite is fatal to any human within 10 seconds. Nothing can divert it save the high-pitched whine of its mate. I'll nurture it on my passion cocktail. 8 days later, its mate produces new life. And with this hybrid offspring of the devil locust, I shall change the face of the world.
Easy. You just turn it.
Devil locust?
I think these particular locusts are the proud fathers of a swarm of locusts that have begun naming farm crops all the way down to the ground.
Such specialized knowledge, Thomas. Where, I wonder, would you have acquired such expertise or such information?
Just cocktail party chatter. Seems there's an entomologist, Dr. Rand. Martin Rand, ever heard of the name?
Oh, dear, he's disabled another one. He always gets so petulant.
Probably tax deductible. Why don't you donate him to a zoo?
Oh, he is like a wild animal sometimes. Would you punish him for me, Thomas?
Me? I mean, it's just a question of a boy on prank. He is big for his age.
Roger, Mr. Sloane here is going to teach you a lesson. And you can be sure he is not the type who intends to merely fool around.
No, that's not true. I could fool around. No problem.
No problem. This umbrella, is it finished yet?
No, sir. I was just about to make some final adjustments on it.
Good, then give me a call when you're ready to test it.
A call?
Of course. I want to be here to see this baby in action. It was my idea, if you remember.
I remember.
Well, then the sooner we test it, the sooner we can get it to our agents in the field. You never know when there's liable to be a cloudburst. Effie, you back from lunch yet?
Lunch, Mr. Director?
Just a little joke.
Yes, if you say so.
Have you heard anything from Thomas yet?
No, sir, and I'm beginning to worry.
Well, you know how Thomas is. Sometimes I'm surprised he even bothers to check in with us at all. Still, it has been a long time.
Torque's thoughts exactly, Mr. Director.
Torque?
Yes, he left a little while ago to see if he could find him.
pardons, Thomas. Where is she?
I don't know if it's a he or she, but if it bites, I've got 10 seconds or less. It's a devil locust. I saw a picture of it. Very friendly, Turk.
How do we get it off of you?
There's a mating call. It's supposed to divert it. It's kind of a high-pitched whine. Whatever that is.
Fine, but how do I fake that one?
Improvise. I don't know, Turk.
All a good thought, Thomas.
You just be careful. You're not playing a song. Maybe a little higher. Maybe we're too high. Work your way down the scale fast.
Take back everything I ever said about you. Have any trouble getting in? Trouble? Why should I have trouble? I mean, the whole place is absolutely deserted. There's nobody home, Tom.
A man called Sloane will return.
Absolutely astonishing. Better than I ever expected. Here, let me give it a try.
But Mr. Director, you don't...
No. You can take the director out of the lab, but there's no way you can take the lab. Now, you load it this way. Is that right? Then you aim through the sighting device.
Mr. Director, there's a call for you.
Put it on hold, Effie. Can't you see I'm busy? Then you put your finger on the trigger.
It's Thomas, Mr. Director. He says it's important.
Oh, all right. Tell him I'll be right there. Kelly, I want you to put this in production right away.
Yes, sir.
Remarkable. Yes, Thomas.
Please tell me that my hunch and theory are both wrong.
Sorry, Thomas, but your hunch was on the nose. I wish you'd left a forwarding address. But Penelope Chandler's confirmed as either working for K.A.R.T.E.L directly or receiving K.A.R.T.E.L financing.
The breeding of Dr. Rand's new swarm of hybrid locusts. How about my theory?
Off the wall, but frighteningly accurate. Unit agents in Argentina, the Balkans, North Africa, and Brazil report the sudden planting of food crops in vast wilderness areas, all controlled by K.A.R.T.E.L.
So if someone were to wreck the U.S. food supply, K.A.R.T.E.L's going to be the only supermarket on the block.
Fellows, you and I can act on our hunches and theories. The president can. So for heaven's sake, man, find Dr. Martin Rand.
Hi, remember me?
The one who stole Dr. Bishop from the party.
Right. She around?
No, but I could help you look for her. Who knows? With any luck, we might not be able to find her.
Isn't that her over there? It's nice seeing you again. Hi, Chris.
Hello, Thomas.
Is that your report on the locusts?
Yes, I wanted to get it into the Department of Agriculture right away.
Well, you'd better revise it. Dr. Martin Rand's alive.
I can't believe it.
There was a photograph with writing on the back. It was dated 8 days ago. The handwriting was verified as his.
But I just know that he would have contacted me. I know he would have.
Not if he wanted the world to think he was dead. So he could continue breeding these super locusts and not be suspected of it.
passion cocktail. What did Dr. Rand mean by that?
Passion cocktail is sort of a pet name for a powerful formula that can cause very rapid growth in hybrids and also an increase in their reproductive drives.
So if you wanted to make this passion cocktail in quantity, you'd need a facility, a commercial plant, something like that?
Yes, but the formula was never found after the plane crash. So I don't know how you could find out where he was ordering it from when nobody even knows what he was ordering.
University business office. They would have records of receipts, expenditures. Chris, you're terrific. Why didn't I think of that?
Yes.
Something needs doing. And quickly.
Oh? My, our Mr. Sloane really is a worthy adversary, isn't he? But I think you're right this time, dear. So you just do your thing, and I'll take care of any other loose ends. Roger, tell Morton to dress collegiate and steal a car. I'm sending him to school. Yes, if Ingrid fails, I want insurance. I'll expect you to be outside Dr. Rand's laboratory in exactly 5 minutes. Martin, so sorry to have disturbed you, dear heart, but I've already told Roger that when your passion cocktail formula arrives, he is going to have to feed it to your little hybrids because you have already worked quite enough.
That's most gracious. Perhaps, Miss Chandler, Penelope, when I get the $10 million, you might want to share.
Ordinarily, Doctor, I'd absolutely adore it, but, you see, they've already found your lie.
What?
Yes, and I mean, how could we enjoy even that amount of money with you being hounded and hunted and, ultimately forced to tell everything?
You told me I'd never be suspected. My name, my reputation. You promised me.
Dr. Rand, you have proven to be singularly the most boring man I've ever met. $10 million to you, you poor intellectual hick.
Wait! No, no! Stop! No! Please, no!
Shame on you. Guns can be dangerous, especially if not properly handled. Come with me, please. Kelly?
Breathing a lot easier now, if you know what I mean.
Don't tell me the director's been testing the merchandise again.
Torque, I'd hate to tell you how close he came to firing this umbrella. At us, Torque.
Well, hang in there, kid.
Do my best.
Torque?
Yes, Mr. Director.
Any luck with that girl who tried to do away with Thomas?
Well, her name is Ingrid Hansen, and she's one of those rare combinations of beauty, intelligence, and a deadly aim.
And K.A.R.T.E.L.
And K.A.R.T.E.L, which means if she does know where Martin Rand and Penelope Chandler are, she's not about to tell us.
And to all intents and purposes, we're right back where we started from.
Maybe not, Mr. Director.
You have something, Effie?
I just received an urgent mobile communique from Thomas. He wants Torque to meet him at Trans-Allied Chemical Company immediately. The address is...
I know the place, Effie. And I'll be there immediately, if not sooner.
Out here?
Once before is all. I think they're doing some weird thing with dairy cow food or something. I don't know. Come on, let's unload.
Just line the bottles up over here. We'll move them inside ourselves.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna take a look inside.
Mr. Sloane. Shut up. One devil locust wasn't enough for you, hey, Mr. Sloane? Well, let's see how you do against a whole swarm of them.
On the current Mr. Sloane, just once more.
I could be more than just something to look at.
Don't think the thought hasn't crossed my mind. But unfortunately, these little angels have got to be trucked to the airfield in 2 hours.
2 hours? I know I'm not kidding myself. I know I'm a dead man. But I would give my life to spend the last two hours in the company of a woman like you.
Open it.
You're not going to invite him.
Open it. I don't think you've seen my little hideaway room, Thomas.
Well, it's got to be better than mine.
Don't think for one moment I've been entirely blinded by your sudden interest. Should your mind wander, or should you try something devious?
Thomas, what is this? What are they doing?
Chris, I'm sorry.
Thomas, please.
She's holding all the cards.
Oh, but if he behaves, you'll still be alive when he gets back.
That mating call seemed appropriate.
Oh, jokes, Thomas.
Get in there.
one moment of fulfillment. K.A.R.T.E.L will make billions. Oh, but this conquest is mine. My victory over those despicable men who think they can dominate everything and everyone in the world. Oh, feel free to explore, Thomas. It's locked. From the outside.
You are a unique person. Wealthy, successful, independent, beautiful. Now, why would you sell your soul to K.A.R.T.E.L?
Everybody has to sell something to somebody, honey. What's important is the payment you get for selling it. I'm getting paid with power.
Penelope, if I had a glass of champagne, I would drink to you and your spirit.
Well, by all means. We shall have some.
Hello.
Roger, bring us a bottle of chilled Chantel. 66.
Yes, Miss Chandler.
How I've waited and hungered and lived for this one moment of fulfillment. The conquest is mine.
Miss Chandler.
How I've waited and hungered and lived for this one moment of fulfillment.
Penelope, now, I know how you feel about men. But don't you think that ruining this country's food supply is a slight case of overkill? You're saying it so well.
You didn't come out. I thought I'd hang around.
When I didn't come out, you could have come in.
Oh, Thomas, I figured you could take care of yourself. That girl, Ingrid, she refused to talk. Now the last truckload of locusts is about to leave.
Well, they've got Chris inside. You better go with the truck. You a car. Okay, drive it out.
But what about you?
Don't argue, just drive it. Torque, I hope these aren't double locusts.
No, these aren't the killers, Thomas.
Airborne. We'll rendezvous over the target. Let's go. Okay, let's get this last truckload aboard. Let's go!
Let's call in a little air support of our own.
What happened?
I don't know what happened. I was just... Neither do you. Thomas, they're leaving.
They can stop us now.
Torque, we've got to stop them.
I got an idea.
We'll take this plane and launch the ones already on board.
Not yet. I pushed a little button in the lab. I hope it's the right mating call. It's loud enough.
I've done it, Roger. I've done it.
I knew you could. What's that coming at us?
I can see!
What do you say we have a tall glass of passion cocktail?
If anyone doesn't need passion cocktail. What's that?
A cigarette case.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything, Thomas.
Is he interrupting anything?
Not yet.
I just wanted to let you know that Rand's locusts have been dealt with. And the farmlands of America have been preserved. The world's food supply is once again safe. How do you feel about that, Thomas? Thomas? Oh, come now, Thomas. You are feeling something.
Monday, only Charles can stand up to a bully who brings nothing but trouble to Walnut Grove on Little House. Then it's the TV triumph, A Woman Called Moses. Cicely Tyson is the slave who led her people to freedom. Monday. Tonight, right after the news, don't miss NBC Sports Wimbledon Tennis Update, followed by The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson with guest Robert Klein on NBC.